Thank you, Sunil, for my introduction. My own financial about my agenda. I will discuss about life including structure and its metabolism, management, and then I will discuss about key takeaways. First, we'll discuss about lipoprotein. So, they are made up of lipids and apoproteins. Lipids are chylomicrons. Lipids are chylomicrons, VLDL, IDL, LDL, protein A. And this is the lipoprotein structure. You can see that at the center, it is a hydrophobic core of triglycerides and it is surrounded by a surface monolayer phospholipid mixed with hydrophilic. And it is surrounded by apoprotein. This slide shows various lipoproteins, their size and density. We can see here that LDL cholesterol is anti-atherogenic, whereas other lipoproteins, they pro-atherogenic lipoproteins. Lipoprotein and its structure, chylomicrons are
Hello.
triglycerides as a major lipid. They have ApoB48, ApoC, ApoA1, ApoA2, ApoA4 as a major apoproteins. Chylomicron remnants are little smaller than chylomicrons and they have triglycerides and ApoB as a major apoprotein. Remnants are similar to chylomicron remnants and they have triglyceride as a major lipid and they have ApoB100 apoproteins. Again, smaller than VLDL and in smaller. And HDL contains phospholipid, mainly cholesterol. And it contains ApoB100 as a apolipoprotein and HDL contains as a apoprotein. Lipoprotein contains cholesterol and ApoA as a apoprotein. Now we'll discuss about lipids. Lipids to exogenous and endogenous pathway. And exogenous pathway, whenever we take lipid, it goes into the intestine and the chylomicrons form. Chylomicron is really triglyceride and they have cholesterol in their center and when it goes into circulation, it is metabolized of lipoprotein lipase. Triglyceride is utilized by muscles and adipose tissues. And then chylomicron remnants, which is actually rich in ApoB and ApoE. Then with the help of LDL receptor. In endogenous metabolism of endogenous lipid metabolism. So there is some technical issue actually. Okay. So in endogenous lipid metabolism, this VLDL is secreted. VLDL when goes into the capillaries, it again metabolized by lipoprotein lipase, then ideal form which is rich in cholesterol, and again when triglyceride again it again LDL is formed which is rich in cholesterol, and cholesterol which is found in LDL due to this cholesterol content, this LDL is actually atherogenic. So this is also shown in this slide. This is exogenous pathway and this is Okay, so this is one of the very important slide, and we will give 1 to 2 minutes for this slide. We can see that these drugs like ezetimibe, paradigastat, bile acid sequestrants, and they act on the intestine. Like ezetimibe act on the Niemann-Pick cell, and they inhibit cholesterol absorption. Likewise, paradigastat act on DGAT, and bile acid sequestrant act on intestine and decrease the cholesterol absorption. Clomidopide act on the MTP. They are MTP inhibitors, which is used for packing of the lipoprotein. And here you can see that these are the drugs like bempedoic acid. They actually inhibit synthesis. Here you can see which acts on MTP. They are MTP inhibitors, and PCSK9 inhibitors are actually PCSK, and they act on LDL receptor. Then these are the drugs cholinestersen and evinacumab. They act on the lipoprotein lipase. Am I clear? Coming now. Okay. So this is the structure of HDL cholesterol. Here you can see that this is the center, which is cholesterol and triglyceride, and here is the phospholipid layer, and there are apolipoproteins A1. You can see that one HDL can have multiple ApoA1 particles. This is very important because ApoA1 concentration determines its quality. Now we will discuss about the HDL properties. And the small intestine from periphery to the liver. So main transport from periphery and play a key role in this pathway known as liver. As are anti-inflammatory, which also contribute to atherosclerosis. Protein more than one, and this number property. HDL concentration not always closely linked with the and sometimes when HDL level increases, even no inflammation. Serum cholesterol as a mechanism presents a picture of atherosclerosis. If there is no HDL, insulin, hypertriglyceridemia, or we have chronic inflammation. When but there is no practice. It is shown that when LDL concentration increases, it not cardiovascular risk. We have seen that in HDL, LDL is the particle, and now the new concentration is not directly linked to cardiovascular concentration. Cardiovascular important contributor to ACTV of pancreatitis. Initially, in lipidology, LDL. There are now new targets and triglyceride lipoprotein. Triglyceride lipoproteins and so nowadays we also this lipoproteins. You can say cholesterol remnant and so here we will discuss about proteins are actually more atherogenic than LDL. Why? They contain 5% more cholesterol than LDL. They are small like LDL to pass glycogen and they are tendency to attach positivity so they are using the charge. They do not need oxidation to cause it. Can be taken directly by macrophage by cytoplasmic protein causes endothelial dysfunction, coagulation, and due to this, they can cause endothelial. There can be lipolytic products, and there can be micro changes. Now let us talk about a few randomized controlled trials. One trial that is which published by Deepak Bhatt, and this trial has some statistical results in cardiology. It is about genetic polymorphism impacting. So it is seen that when there is loss of mutation occur in ApoC3, then it is associated with lower triglyceride and lower rates of coronary heart disease. And this was on in NEJM. So this was the article, functional mutation in ApoC3, triglyceride and coronary disease. Then we'll discuss about reduce it trial. Now my voice is clear now, Dr. Abhishek?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now we'll discuss about reduce it trial. Okay. So in reduce it trial, there were around 8,000 patients were taken and they were divided into two groups. One was icosapent ethyl treatment group where 4 grams of icosapent ethyl were given to the patient, 4,000 patient, and another was placebo group. And when they were followed for 9 years around, then they have found the statistically significant outcome in primary as well as secondary cardiovascular diseases. So this is the effect of, and this reduced trial was one of the first non-LDL targeted trial to show and will likely be featured in future guidelines. So this is a very promising nowadays, and it is used in foreign countries, but we don't have this drug in our country and we are waiting for this drug. Now we'll discuss about fibrates. Fibrates are agonist of the peroxisome proliferator activated receptor. They lower concentration of triglyceride, LDL cholesterol, and C-reactive protein. They are recommended for hypertriglyceridemia. Side effects are observed with more potent PPR alpha. So they have searched for a selective PPR alpha modulators. Trial that is prominent trial from fibrate is, and now the first selective PPR alpha is pemafibrate, and it lowers by more than 30. Now newer approach to triglyceride lowering, and we will discuss something about Sorsen. Volanesorsen is antisense oligonucleotide targeting apolipoprotein C3. Very important drug, and this caused profound triglyceride lowering and shown very promising result in familial chylomicronemia, providing an important new treatment option for patients who are prone to recurrent episode of pancreatitis, and it is available in Europe and they are using it, but it is not available America. Now the other drug for triglyceride, that platelet inhibitor approach, LPS gene therapy like Glibetra and here we have two drugs, Pradigastat and AZD7687. So this is all about triglyceride. Now we'll discuss about low density lipoprotein, that is LDL. From VLDL and IDL, as we all know, and it is actually the drug which it is actually the lipoprotein which in our lipidology practice, and the small dense LDL particles are considered to be more proatherogenic than large LDL particles for a number of reasons. Why? Because small dense particles have a lesser affinity for LDL receptor, and they penetrate into the arterial wall, and they are susceptible to oxidation, to which they can be taken up by macrophages very fast. So they are more atherogenic than large buoyant LDL. So this is LDL structure. You can see that this is one apoprotein B100 which is attached with LDL, and this is the center which is mostly made up of cholesterol, and in periphery there is phospholipid. Which drug we have? We have following drugs like statin, ezetimibe and bile acid sequestrant, PCSK9 inhibitors, lomitapide, mipomazan, and CETP inhibitors. Statins are the prescribed medicine in cardio-diabetes practice. This drug is established in the 80s, and in 1991, simvastatin was approved. In 2004, rosuvastatin was approved, and in 1997, atorvastatin was approved. And there are so many trials which prove statin and which actually establish statins as a primary as well as heart disease. While cholesterol treatment trial is CCT trial is collaboration, whenever there is reduction of LDL cholesterol, then there is proportionate decrease in cardiovascular. So if 50 mole reduction in LDL cholesterol, then usually 22% reduction event was observed. 2 millimole reduction in LDL, then around 48 to 50% cardiovascular event is observed. It is also seen that statin benefits in all major cardiovascular events. So this is a Jupiter trial. We can see here that when LDL is lowest and C-reactive protein is also less than 1 milligram per deciliter, then the cardiovascular benefit is most. So statin is benefited in primary as well as secondary prevention of cardiovascular disease. Statin benefits are substantial and risks are very small. This is the data of 10,000 patients who were taking atorvastatin 40 mg from last 5 years, and CVD event prevented, that means secondary prevention, was in 1,000 patients, primary prevention was in 500, status was in 50 to 100 patients, muscle symptoms uncomplicated were in 100, myopathy complicated in 5, hemorrhagic stroke in 5 to 10, and severe liver disease is less than 1. Statin is usually very tolerable. This slide shows about improved track, which further appreciate this point that whenever LDL cholesterol decreases, improve cardiovascular outcome. So in this trial, post-ACS patients were chosen, and when in one arm simvastatin 40 mg was given, and in another plus simvastatin was given, then LDL level reduces by 23% on top of this statin, and due to this statistic outcome in primary as well as secondary cardiovascular outcome. So this is the with simvastatin, and this is IMPROVE-IT trial. And in this, we can see that in this CTT collaboration slide, that there is proportionate further decrease in cardiovascular event. Ezetimibe is added on statin, high dose statin. Now we'll discuss about PCSK9 inhibitors. PCSK9 protein is an important regulator of circulation level through its inhibitory action on recycling of LDL receptor. And we can see that how this PCSK9 works. This PCSK9, it is secreted by hepatocytes, and when it binds receptor and LDL combination, then it internalizes it in endosome and it degrades all the three. When the inhibitor then attaches with PCSK9, and this LDL goes and attaches with this LDL receptor. LDL is degraded, but LDL receptor is so due to PCSK9, this LDL receptor recycling increases and LDL level decreases. This is very happy, and it reduces 60%. So according to CCT trial, it is it decreases further cardiovascular risk. There are 3 to 4 trial of PCSK9 inhibitor. One is FOURIER trial, another one is Odysseus trial, and so we'll discuss about FOURIER trial. FOURIER trial is map. This is one of the of PCSK9, and they are US FDA approved, and this trial was done on 27,000 patients, and it is found that they decrease LDL by 60%, and they have given the statistically significant improvement in primary as well as secondary cardiovascular outcome. Now the Odysseus outcome trial, this is with alirocumab, and this is on the acute coronary syndrome patient. That evolocumab was on chronic heart disease patient, and this is on acute patient. So when this drug, that is alirocumab, was used, then again it decreases LDL significantly, and due to this, again there is statistically significant data comes in favor of primary as well as secondary cardiovascular outcome. So these two drugs are established drug for secondary prevention. One is acute and another is in chronic condition. Then this is the Vesalius CV trial which is going on, and this trial is done on for primary prevention in high risk group patients. We don't have the results of this trial, but this trial, we expect that this also gives a better result. Now we'll discuss about inclisiran. Inclisiran is a small interfering RNA, and it is an inhibitor of PCSK9 synthesis, and it is given by subcutaneous injection. And this drug is also in trial, that is Orion 4 trial, and this drug can be utilized as a lipid vaccine in future, and this can be given 6 monthly or 1 yearly, and it is seen that when this drug is given, causes profound and robust and sustained LDL reduction. You can see that there is robust and sustained LDL reduction. So maybe in future we use this vaccine only 1 shot or 2 shot in a year, lipid level will be managed. Now we will discuss about CETP inhibitors. They are also one of the drug which is used for, can be used for LDL. CETP inhibitor raise HDL cholesterol by decreasing the transfer of cholesterol ester to the other lipoprotein particles such as LDL, thereby retaining more, because most cholesterol esters originate in HDL, decreasing the transfer to other non-HDL particles and increasing the protective HDL concentration, cardioprotective. The first CETP inhibitor, that is torcetrapib, increase HDL but also increase the risk of death and cardiovascular event The trial ended early due to the increased harm to patient. Dolutegravir increased HDL but did not reduce the risk of cardiovascular event and was terminated due to futility. Evacetrapib in the phase 3 trial decreased LDL cholesterol and increased HDL cholesterol but had no significant cardiovascular events rate compared with placebo. And acitretin is the only CETP inhibitor to have beneficial cardiovascular. CETP inhibitors are actually discarded due to significant results in terms of mortality, but anacetrapib has given the cardiovascular benefit. And so we can see that this is the CETP inhibitor, which actually cholesterol from HDL to VLDL, LDL, and IDL. Inhibitor decreases LDL cholesterol and ApoB also, and it increases HDL cholesterol and ApoB. You can see that this is HDL particle, nascent HDL from peripheral tissue. This is rich in cholesterol, and this CETP exchanges cholesterol and triglycerides, gives the IDL, VLDL, and LDL, and it takes 3. So when we give inhibitors, then more and more cholesterol will be in HDL, which is and all these will be having less cholesterol. So LDL will be less. So these are dolutegravir, evacetrapib, and anacetrapib is actually increasing HDL cholesterol by 104%, and apolipoprotein decreases by -18%. And it was, the trial name was REVEAL, and 30,000 patients were enrolled, and this trial is this trial positive result, maybe due to LDL reduction, but this trial has given few positive results. That's why due to this REVEAL trial, you can see that anacetrapib in the statistically significant difference, like p-value, statistically significant result in favor of events, and it increases cholesterol ApoA1, and it decreases LDL cholesterol and ApoB. And in this CTT meta-analysis slide, you can see that again when statin, this anacetrapib is given on top, then again there is risk reduction is seen due to LDL reduction. Now, what are the emerging therapy for lowering LDL cholesterol? We have discussed statin, we have discussed PCSK, we have discussed CETP, we have discussed lipid vaccine. Now, what are the other emerging therapies for lowering of LDL cholesterol? So, one drug is bempedoic acid. It is a prodrug. It inhibits ATP citrate lyase at a dose of 180 milligrams. Reduce LDL cholesterol by 28.5%. With when we add ezetimibe, then it reduces LDL cholesterol by 4%. And side effects are not many. It's just in few patients, gouty syndrome. Now, lomitapide. Lomitapide is a small molecular of microsomal triglyceride transfer protein, MTB protein, which actually assemble pro-ApoB containing lipoprotein. This inhibition results in fewer ApoB circulation and the cholesterol. Phase 3 study of lomitapide in homozygous familial hypercholesterolemia, evaluating and durable reduction in LDL cholesterol level. In adverse events is GI events and hepatic fat increase. It is approved treatment option for homozygous familial and might reduce need of LDL, which actually we don't have, I think, in India. We have, but I think in few centers. Then mipomersen. It is second generation antisense oligonucleotide that binds to ApoB 100 messenger RNA and triggers its degradation, resulting in fewer ApoB 100 containing the circulation. A phase 3 study showed that mipomersen was effective for homozygous familial hypercholesterolemia with LDL level decreasing by 21%. Evinacumab, this is angio-related. It is an intrinsic lipoprotein lipase and endothelial 6% and to 23%. Now, my few last slides. Lipoprotein A, it is LDL-like particles synthesized by hepatocytes and consisting of cholesterol-rich into an apolipoprotein A particle. And if it is more than 30 milligram per deciliter, increase. And when the lipoprotein A level increase, it can cause cardiovascular disease, calcific aortic valve stenosis, or MI and peripheral artery disease. It is so lifestyle and dietary intervention have little or no effect on lipoprotein A level. Nicotinic acid reduces it by 25%, mipomersen by 40%, CETP inhibitor by 35%, inhibitor by 25%. Antisense oligonucleotide is also in pipeline, and this is a second generation antisense oligonucleotide designed to reduce lipoprotein A. Unlike LDL cholesterol lowering of lipoprotein, but actually all these drugs decreases lipoprotein A, but they have not shown any cardiovascular mortality benefit. So we are not using them for lipoprotein reduction. This is the clinical development of RNA and gene therapy for lipid disorder. You can see that inclisiran, which is a target is PCSK9. We have already discussed small interfering RNA, ApoB target, antisense oligonucleotide, volanesorsen, antisense oligonucleotide, ApoC3 is the target. So these are the drugs, which are future drugs. Okay, and some of them we have. Like volanesorsen, we have already told you this drug is available in Europe and they are actually using this. Mipomersen, they are using this. Now, key takeaway, the most important aspect of all of my presentation, what we have gathered from my presentation. So targeting HDL with drug is not a promising way. We should reduce HDL by lifestyle intervention. This is my first key takeaway. HDL should not only taken as good cholesterol, but in few situations can be atherogenic. Anti-atherogenicity of LDL by its HDL is not measured by its concentration, but it should be measured reverse cholesterol transport efficiency, that is ApoA1 particle concentration. This is very important point. Triglyceride should be targeted as triglyceride reduction is causing decreased cardiovascular mortality like reduced trial. Triglyceride remnant are more atherogenic than LDL. Drugs targeting ApoC3 and angioplate can be a way of treatment, and selective PPAR alpha modifier like pemafibrate is new therapy for TG. Even lower is even better. So this is again proven by this IMPROVE-IT trial. PCSK9 inhibitor has been emerged as a new and effective way of lowering LDL cholesterol. PCSK9 is tried in primary prevention also, like in Vesalius trial, and once a year lipid vaccine targeting PCSK9 is in pipeline, inclisiran, Orion 4 trial, bempedoic acid and ezetimibe alternative therapy in statin intolerant patient, and lipoprotein A level cannot be lowered with help of lifestyle intervention. No drug has given any statistically significant result, although it can be reduced by many drugs. So our knowledge of lipid management is expanding day by day, and our targets are also expanding.